Hey guys, I'm back with a video today. In today's Traha Global video, we're going to be talking a little bit about the territory wars. If you guys don't know what territory wars is the massive faction PP where you do some type of battlegrounds, but with way many more bases. And there's been a lot of questions going around about how does territory war works. It's very confusing. There's a lot of stuff happening at once. So I am here to break down everything you guys need to know about territory war, about how it works, so you guys can finally start winning and doing good in these wars. So let's jump right into it. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and let's check it out. So first, let's talk about territory wars. There's solo territory wars, these four, and now every Saturday these four open. And then this is something that you can enter alone. You don't need to enter with your guild or anything. This is something you enter solo. So you, when it happens, when it starts, you click on participate and you enter inside the backgrounds. And then when you're inside, you can make teams if you need to. And then with the same thing goes with the guild. The guilds will be bidding for these two territories. And then when you bid for the territories, you can invite two other guilds to help you guys out. So usually the factions want to have the three strongest guilds to help them out. And whoever bids, let's say Asylum bids for this territory and they win it, they can invite, for example, two other guilds to join them and help them, and then we will fight the enemy's faction 3 guilds, and then you can get the rewards. You get more rewards if you have less guilds helping you, but you need the guilds to be able to win and get the damage reward. So that is like the super basic of it. Now let's check out the war. Now the war itself, as you guys can see, when we start the war, this is when we enter. Right here we can enter. You can see the map top left side right here, and then you have the score. Now this is the score on the right side, is what is gonna be important to keep an eye on. This will tell you who is winning and who is losing and what you guys need to do. Now if you guys can see here, the score is increasing and decreasing. The first team to 30,000 points or score wins the game, or if the time runs out, whoever has the highest wins the game. Now how do you get these scores? Now if you capture bases, you'll start getting these scores. It doesn't matter how many players you down or how many enemies you beat. It does not matter on the score at all. It's all about capturing points. So if you capture a point, you get 10 points every second for 1 point, and then the middle point, you get 40 points per second if you have the middle point. So you want to be able to capture as many points as possible. The way to win it is you hold the middle point or 4 points, or you hold 9 points and not the middle point. So that is the way to win if you want to win. And then you have your own rank here. It shows your own score, how many players you have downed, if you capture points, you get your own score up. But you should not be focusing on your own score when you're doing guild war. The more important thing is focusing on capturing bases. Now let's talk about the points. Okay, so right here I made a little map for you guys so you guys can understand a little bit better. So if you are Vulcan, okay, you guys are Vulcan players, when you enter the battlegrounds, depending how many players there are, or a territory war, you will spawn here, right here. You will spawn here. So first group of wave will spawn here, second group will spawn here, and if you have more players, if you have over 100 players, they'll start spawning down here. And then if you're doing solo territory war, they can spawn here. You guys see this is like 1 player spawned here. So these are the 4 respawn points for Vulcan. Now if you are Naiad, you spawn here, 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 and here. Now at the start of the fight, you will spawn here. This is the first one that everybody will spawn at. Okay, this is the first. These 2 are the first ones that you guys will spawn in, and then the second one you will spawn in is this one. Will be the second one. So you will always fight Vulcans off the bat. You're not gonna spawn on the other side of the map. You will spawn close to them. And then this is the third, south side, and then this is the fourth. Okay, so this is how you spawn. Now if you guys break it up, because it gets a little bit confusing, okay, because these are the spawn points that you will start. Now you want to be breaking up the map. So let me show you what I mean with that. Now if you break up the map like this, you have this part of the map, you spawn here. Every door is locked, as you guys can see, right? So you have spawned here. You have to think about that this is the only... You have to think that this part right here is the only thing that matters. Don't look at the other parts. And what do you guys see here? Have you ever played a Battlefield game or Call of Duty, anything, capture the base? You guys will see that this, for Vulcans, this will be, this point right here will be their A point, because this is the closest to your own respawn, right? And then this will be, this in the middle one right here, this will be the B point, okay? This is where everybody usually fights and meets up and starts fighting. And then this will be the C point for a Vulcan and A point for Naiad. So this is your closest to the base, so you will have the best advantage at this base right here. So it's just like any other background game that you guys play, A, B, C. So this is how it works. This is A, B, C for Vulcan, and for Naiad, this will be A, B, C, because this is the closest, this is one in the middle, this is the furthest away. Very simple, you know? So how do you get the gates to unlock? Now, these gates unlock two ways they will unlock. Way number one is if you capture all these bases, let's say you are a Naiad, you capture all these 3 bases, the doors will unlock for you. When the doors unlock, you guys can go around and help your teammates out and fight with them, right? So the main objective is to try to get all 3 bases, and the people defending is to not let them get 3 bases, because once they get 3 bases, they get it unlocked, and then it is easy win from there, okay? Because they can go and help everybody else. So don't let them get the 3 bases inside here. Now, how do you know if somebody's capturing a base? So right here, you see this base right here is owned by a Naiad, is blue, and it has a sword in between it. So once you see a sword in between, if you're Naiad, you see, or anybody, you see the sword in between, that means that Vulcan is trying to take this base from Naiad, okay? So either if you're Naiad, you go defend, or if you're Vulcan, you go and help and attack to capture this base. In these 2 bases, nothing is happening. You see this, a bunch of red here, and they are defending. You guys see here, because none of the Vulcans are inside the base, so it doesn't show a sword in between, but they're trying to defend right here. You can kind of see where enemies are. And then the second thing, how is the second way these doors unlock? The second thing is depending on timer. Once a timer hits, I think it's 19 minutes, everything gets unlocked, okay, at 19 minutes, no matter what. So even if you haven't gotten any bases, everything unlocks at 19 minutes. You guys can go capture bases. Now the middle one, as you guys can see, will unlock at 24 minutes. So when 6 minutes have passed, the middle one will unlock, and this one gives the most points. So this is how the stuff works. So if you have so hopefully I answered most of you guys' questions. Now there is a big problem in this. When you're doing solo territory, it's not a big problem because everybody entry, there's enough players, but doing guild wars is a huge problem. If the enemy faction, let's say Vulcan, right? Let's say Vulcan has 100 players, okay? 100 players. Vulcan has 100 players, right? And then a Naiad has 130 players. Okay, now this is what's going to happen. If this happens, is that the first wave of Vulcan will spawn here, okay? Boom. Big wave spawns here, about 55 players, okay? Maybe 50 players. And then the second wave will spawn here. A little smaller wave right here. Let's do 3 circles here, okay? And then the second wave will spawn here. Maybe 50 here, and then 40 here, and then a small wave of Vulcans will spawn here. Let's say 10 players will spawn here. Now for Naiad, they will eventually, what happens is they have 3 spawns, boom, big spawn, 50 like Vulcan, and then another big spawn right here because they have so many players, and then they have a bigger, like not as big as small as Vulcan, but they have a bigger spawn here. So what happens now is these will destroy the Vulcan very easily because they have more players, and then they will capture these 3 bases, and when they capture these 3 bases, they will unlock these doors, and then they will capture these 3 bases, and then it is over. The game is over. Literally in 5 minutes the game is over because they will have such a huge point lead. So unfortunately they have to do something about this. They have to make some kind of balance, because if you are under-numbered, you will lose very easily, okay? So then your main focus in this, guys, should be capturing bases, capturing the bases on the sides and corners. Make sure that they don't get 3 bases. If they do get 3 bases, you have to help your team get 3 bases too. So this is how territory works. Hopefully, guys, this explained to you guys. So if you guys can see here, at 25 minutes right here, I think it's 25, right? Was it not 25? Oh no, it was 24. So right here, you guys can see on the top left map right now, it hits 24 minutes and then the middle gate will open up. Okay, so you can go to the middle. And that's then at 19 minutes right here. Was 19, yeah, right here. You see all the locks, all the gates gets removed at 19 minutes, okay? And now let me show you guys at the start. So what happens here is at the start of the game, you can see up top left there, you look how many. A lot of green spawns on this one that I guess told you. A lot of green on this one and barely any greens here. But for the enemy side, they had a bunch of blues on this side, a bunch of blues on this side, and a bunch of blues on this side. So what happens is they went in, they destroyed all, they all got, you look at the south side right now, look at the south, they got these 3 very easily because they destroyed the 5 players that were here because they had more than us. And then what happens is they go and they capture the left side too. And then by this time, the game is over. Look at the point difference. They have 2,000 to 8,000 score. And then this is the score by 5 minutes. So it is over. So it does depend on how many players you have, but you also have to play a little bit strategy. So that is it for Territory War. Hopefully that answered all you guys' questions that you guys had. Let me know in the comments below if you have any other questions or if this was helpful at all. I really appreciate if you give me a thumbs up, subscribe. Remember, this game mode is more for fun and content and not so much for the rewards. So try to enjoy it, have fun with it. Hopefully, now that you understand it, you'll have more fun with it. But thank you guys so much for watching. Check out this video right here. Happy New Year's, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.